You're watching Lansdowne Roar, your home for Irish football news and nostalgia. Coming up on this episode, Brian Kerr returns to the Ireland fold for the first time in about 20 years. Slaven Bilić is hot on the lips of the FAI, if you believe the Mirror. And Sammie Szmodics gets his 25th goal of the season for Blackburn Rovers. All this and more coming up on Lansdowne Roar Live. David Dunn here, joined by Martin Prendergast. As always, if you like what you hear, love what you see, hit that subscribe button, scan that QR code, head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter. Martin, how are you doing? Another Sunday, another live episode of Lansdowne Roar. Oh, and actually, before you, don't you dare speak. You just hold that thought for a second. We are the voice of the fans, so we want to hear from you. If there's anything you want to talk about, we will get to your comments. Have your say, leave a comment, get involved. We will get to that on the back of the show. It could be anything we're talking about in this, or it could be just something completely off the top of your mind. However, the question I am going to ask, as this is kind of a new thing we're doing at the top of the show, and the question is, are you happy with Brian Kerr's return? First time he's been involved with the Irish setup since 2005, when he was unceremoniously dumped out of the FAI by Mr. John Delaney, and there's going to be more on him later on with a certain social media account. But anyway, yeah. What do you think? Are you happy with Brian Kerr's return? Let us know in the comments. Get involved. Have your say. Martin, you may speak.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, great to be on again. And yeah, thanks everyone as well. Just want to give a shout out on behalf of myself and Dave and Nick. We do really appreciate your support of the show. We're trying to grow the numbers, of course. And yeah, your interaction and on all our Twitter and Facebook posts is very much appreciated. As we've always said, we all have opinions. And we want to hear yours as well. And we don't always agree, but if it's in good jest and a bit of fun, that's what it's about. We do consider ourselves the voice of the fans, where you get to have a say. No, I had a great Friday night. Thanks, Dave, as well. It was our Risk London charity quiz night in aid of the North London Hospice. And again, thanks to support as well from people from the pods, from the podcast and support of Lansdowne Roar, the Raw faithful. Yeah, it was a really good night. We raised £3,200, so that's a bit of sterling there in for you. From a quiz night is absolutely fantastic. So thank you to all our sponsors and for people for supporting that. I know you were a no-show, Dave, but you did contribute in your own special way with helping me with the posters. I had a lot of people come up to me and say, "Oh, where's Evan Ferguson? Because he's on the poster." And I said, "Oh, sorry to let you down. No Evan Ferguson tonight, and we've also got Lansdowne Raw on the poster." And there's no Dave as well. So, I don't know who they were more disappointed that wasn't there, Dave. To be honest,
really about me. I do apologise to my fans for not being. I wasn't very well. Actually, I still haven't been quite well last few days. But thank you very much, Martin, for asking. But yeah, no, I was genuinely sorry to miss it. I really was. Thanks, Martin. Jesus, like sticking a knife in early. Actually, speaking of early, we do have a comment here from Nuri Nurik. To start off show, and the reason why I'm going to mention it now is one for your social media watch. Jim, #777 now might be John Delaney's Twitter burner account. Follows all the JD Party accounts, slags off Kerr journalists and League of Ireland fans. We'll get to that later on. Yeah, spoiler alert. But yes, do keep your comments coming in, guys. Have your say. Get involved. That's what we do. Right, Martin, shall we start with We'll start with IBIG, will we? We get to the IBIG, see how our lads got on over the weekend. Right, no Nick. I'll use my dulcet tones this week. Here we are. So Caoimhín Gallagher with a clean sheet for Liverpool in our 1-0 win over Nottingham Forest. Very fair. Very fair. I just want to credit the fine officiating of the Premier League officials for that particular match. I am sick and tired of people having to go officials, Martin. We need to applaud the fine officiating in the English Premier League. I just have to say that right now. I will not hear anything bad about those wonderful match officials. Fantastic job.
Anyway. I just want to get this right then. So you're quite happy with a former Republic of Ireland player who's now a coach at Nottingham Forest being red carded. That you're happy with that. That's what you're most happy about. That's the officiating you're talking about?
No, I'm actually even happy that Caoimhín Gallagher, our current Ireland goalkeeper, he's going to start for us in March, and he should, by the way. Got a clean sheet, and by the way, what a phenomenal save he pulled off. I'll tell you what, right? I've been giving Caoimhín Gallagher a little bit of stick, not too much, but I think my points have been warranted. But yeah, the more he's played, the better he's looked. He has really grown into that role, hasn't he? You don't miss Alisson. Alisson's a great goalkeeper, don't get me wrong, but he's been phenomenal, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a very he's a fantastic goalkeeper, isn't he?
He is. So much better than Bazunu.
Yeah, no, really good. So no, I'm a Bazunu fan, to be fair, but
I know you are, but
you know, I do. Yeah, I know. I'm very happy with how he's playing. We need our players to be getting lots of game time as well. And yeah, so yeah, it's good. I mean, look, it was exciting today as well. The Manchester derby, there was no Irish involvement, but
couldn't even hold on to a 1-0 lead. Pathetic, terrible team. Anyway, but I just want yet again, I just want to congratulate the fine officiating at the FA Premier League. Sammie Szmodics got another goal for Blackburn Rovers in a 1-2 loss to Swansea City. That is his 25th goal of the season. Sammie Szmodics. We're hoping John O'Shea will get him in the squad. No messing about. Sinclair Armstrong with another goal for QPR in a 2-1 win over Leicester City. Cousin Will got 2 assists for Southampton, a 4-3 win over Birmingham City. Bosun Lowell, I think I'm saying it right. Lowell.
Yeah.
Lowell. 2 goals for Fleetwood Crack, as Nick likes to say, in a 4-2 win over Wigan. Gavin Kilkenny got a goal and assist for Fleetwood Crack as well in that 4-2 win over Wigan. Dan Casey got a goal from Motherwell. Got the winner, didn't he, in a 2-1 win over Rangers, although Celtic did slip up. Today, Ronald Curtis with a 94th-minute winner for Wimbledon in a 1-0 win over MK Dons. They're
big rivals.
Most hated rivals, really. The franchise done by the Dons. My local team, sorry, I've moved back to South London. They are my local team, AFC Wimbledon, and I do have a little soft spot for them, so I'm delighted to see that. Jason McLean got an assist for Wrexham in a 4-0 win over Accrington Stanley.
Who are they?
Good boy. And Vesti Ebiselli got a red card for Udinese in a 1-1 draw with Salernitana. Some team in Serie A. Who cares? I can't pronounce them. No, we do care. Of course we care. We are the caring podcast. The podcast for grown-ups, Martin. And also, Adam Ida missed a penalty, didn't he, for Celtic when there was still a 10 to give him a 1-0 lead over Hearts, and it all sort of fell apart after that.
Yeah, it's a shame. What I could say, I suppose, but yeah, look, we've been talking about Adam Ida getting a good start to life at Celtic, and they can turn quickly, can't they? I think you told me that the Celtic fans can turn quickly. So you said that, was it?
Jesus Christ, man! You're trying to get me killed. I'll have the Green Brigade outside my front door, for God's sakes. No, I think the Celtic fans are wonderful people. I think all fans are wonderful people. And yet again, just want to congratulate the fine officiating of the English Premier League. It's a story I'll tell you all fair about it. I can't really say it on air, but it was quite a funny story yesterday. Right, so that's our boys in green. Tell us what you think, by the way.
You haven't got any surprises. There's no surprises for me now. I did send you something that I was happy about yesterday, but I've clearly forgotten, not done it.
Yeah, sorry. Well, you didn't tell me in a warm-up. We were sitting there for about 40 minutes.
I forgot about it. I thought you were going to spray.
And I forgot about it.
Well, that's fine. But
I'm busy. I'm sorry.
I'll do that as
We'll put on a state of play. We'll put on a state of play. I'm sorry, Martin. I apologize. I did mean to put it on for you.
Yeah, but you've missed that out. Don't miss that out on the big. That's big news.
Oh yeah, go on, Martin. Tell us what's so big about how big.
Callum O'Dowd came back yesterday. It's back from injury. Cardiff. There you go. So that's another one. Another one that he liked to hate, but I'm delighted to see him back. And big game actually for him, coming back and playing against Bristol City. So back from injury. Yeah, obviously too short time, I would say, to be considered for the squad, which maybe you'll be happy about. But yeah, that was another bit of news I think I wanted to share with you, Dave.
Fantastic. I'm sure Raw faithful out there are very happy to see Callum O'Dowd back. No, I mean, I don't wish anything on him. But yeah, the question I want to ask you as well to the Raw faithful out there, as well as the Brian Kerr return, Caoimhin Kelleher, should he start? Come on, he has to start over Gavin Bazunu. I know Martin's a Bazunu fan, but tell him why he's wrong. Tell him why he's wrong. But we'll get to those comments in a little bit. We're going to get to the main topic here, Martin, of course, the headline grabber, shall we say. That there he is there. Brian Kerr returning to the Republic of Ireland fold. It was rumoured on Thursday night Friday morning, literally about, because I think O'Shea was announced on the Wednesday, so the next day it was rumored that Brian Kerr was going to come back. The Greener that is his nickname, and just a little bit on this here. So this is from the FAI media release. So former Ireland manager Brian Kerr set to join March camp as technical advisor, whatever that means. Former Ireland midfielder Glenn Whelan joins as assistant coach, as well as goalkeeper coach Rennie Gilmartin. I believe Rennie Gilmartin's from the under-21s. Martin Doyle comes up from the under-21s as Damien Doyle and Stephen Rice continue their roles for the March camp. Now, there was a press conference supposed to be on Friday, but that was postponed due to inclement weather. A little bit more on Brian Kerr. He was on Virgin Media. Of course, he's been on Virgin Media. I'm sure you haven't missed him whinging about Stephen Kenny. Just some of the highlights of his interview. Really surprised to be asked. Not really clear on what his role is yet. More than happy to do whatever John asks, even if it includes picking up the old bibs and skips. But feels he has the knowledge to help John. Never lost the passion for the game or the national team. And it's an opportunity to impart some of his experience onto John. And the most important thing he feels is to win games. Let's try and get the promising results that we need. And he feels that he might be able to help the future manager put things back in order of being competitive. He was asked about the relationship, if he needed to build a relationship with the fans. And he says there's no building needed because the fans supported Stephen Kenny, which, to be fair, I think is true, because the fans never really turned on Stephen Kenny. Martin, are you glad to see Brian Kerr back? And you lovely people out there, are you happy to see Brian Kerr back? Sorry, Martin, I keep interrupting you.
That's fine. Thanks, Dave. I'm kind of not surprised because I think it's part of the long-term plan here. I think it's going to be Carsley in April, to be honest. And I think I'm always leading with Agent Kilban, where he said about, when he was first muted with giving his opinions on the job recruitment, and he was saying about Carsley, and he also mentioned, name dropped, Kerr should be maybe perhaps involved. I think it's very important. The FAI's pathway, which I often talk about, as we know, it's what they want to do. They want someone who's a little bit of a figurehead, who's going to have that link to the League of Ireland. And I think actually Kerr offers that, rather than perhaps Lee Carsley or even John O'Shea if he was the main manager full time. I think Kerr offers that little link of he's on the ground in Ireland. I think the manager, if it's O'Shea, would be coming in and out. So would Carsley as well, watching players. But I think Kerr gives that kind of link to Ireland, to be honest. So I can understand why it's there. And I do actually. We've seen obviously some of the comments coming in and things like that. I think John O'Shea is going to be part of the future of Irish football anyway, in a senior level. Whether he's the main manager or not, I think we've spoke about in the last episode, where I think this is a little bit of an audition for him. It will depend if Carsley is going to be the man taking the job in April, but I think it's all set up in the background. The backroom staff, Glenn Whelan, Gilmartin, and all them people coming in, I think they need to kind of they're the ones that they've got in place, and that's what they're going to have. And whether it's O'Shea or Carsley, I think it's going to be either of them as the main man. And O'Shea will be assistant if it is Carsley coming in.
I think
back to the original question, Kerr, I think it just, that seniority thing, it gives a little bit of reassurance probably to the League of Ireland that, and also that the manager doesn't have to kind of be so involved in the politics of that, in a sense. Let Kerr have that and deal with it.
I'd imagine it's John O'Shea's, because he said he was surprised. I'd imagine it's John O'Shea's idea. Do you think that is a nod? Because Chemical Ban has spoken about, Lee Carsley should get Brian Kerr involved. So that's kind of laying down the groundwork that you're going to have Brian Kerr involved in the current setup, in the new setup, whatever it is. If it is Carsley, he'll be involved. O'Shea will be part of the backroom staff, and he's just kind of laying the groundwork for that. He's planting the seeds, and these guys know about it, but for whatever reason, they can't get involved. Are we giving the FAI too much credit here?
I think it's a good political move from the FAI, though, because burned bridges previously with Kerr, and he's moaned about the association since, and this is the new FAI, we're told. Noel Mooney spoke to you many moons ago, didn't he? And he said, that he'd reached out to Brian Kerr to get him involved. I think it's quite a good, shrewd move.
Noel Mooney, what he said to me was, it was a headline in the Irish Independent, and it was actually on Lansdowne Roar, was that maybe the business has become too much for Brian Kerr, because he was quite bitter on Virgin Media. Me personally, look, I suppose for Brian Kerr, I'm happy for. Okay, I'm very happy for him. I don't think he did wonders with the youth sides. As Ireland's senior manager, I think he didn't do a very good job, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people don't agree with that. The highest percentage rate of any manager, but never beat a team within a competitive match inside the top 80. 83rd was Georgia with that Ireland team, but it's still a very useful Roy Keane. I as Ireland manager, I didn't rate Brian Kerr. Senior manager, as junior manager, fantastic, but as senior manager, I did not rate him at all, and I think he balls a lot of things up. I think this could be, I don't know if it's a political move by the FAI to get people involved and to sort of assuage the League of Ireland fans, because the whole Stephen Kenny thing went completely wrong, and I don't know.
But you do have a tie there, then, don't you, with Kerr? Like, you do have that. But I mean, it's not going to be massively popular with everybody, because he's not popular with everybody, and that's just.
I'm
football.
happy for him. Sorry, just to complete my point. Yeah. I'm happy for him, but I'm not sure what he brings. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, Martin, it reminds me when Eamon Dunphy was. It was around when Stan became manager, and George Graham's name was bandied about. And Eamon Dunphy, because he liked George Graham, his argument for him was at the time, well, he's a commentator on Prem Plus. That was the Premier League pay-per-view channel for our younger listeners. Well, he's in tune. He knows what's going on because he's watching Prem Plus every week. And is that what we're doing here? Brian Kerr watches football every week. He's a pundit. So, coaching's moved on. I don't really
I don't think he'll be doing coaching. I think he just will be run ideas past a bit of a thing, which what
ideas, like what are we talking about?
Just even kind of tactical, like John O'Shea or even Carsley at that level is going to be quite inexperienced, right? So, and he's been in the job, he knows how the media works, and I think it's a kind of supportive voice, which I think is like a head of experience in a way, and I think it's going to help a little bit. I think, I don't think he'll be in the role.
No, he's not going to be in a dugout or anything like that.
No, I don't think he's going to be very long though. It's a little bit like the Bobby Robson thing, which we didn't work out for certain reasons, but it's a little bit like that. And we do have these mad scenarios that Irish football historically have put in place. These, they like that person, so they're a bit close with the camp and things. I don't think he's going to be actually too massively involved. I think it's a little bit of a PR thing of this League of Ireland thing. I think that's a massive thing, because you're trying to engage with all the different stakeholders and supporter bases within Ireland, and I think that might get support with him. Like even John O'Shea, it's actually been quite nice. You're seeing some of the comments from people in Waterford and stuff are saying, like from the football clubs he was with and stuff, are saying, it's really proud day for us because he's come through from Waterford, and what he's done, and even for family, friends and things are saying it's a great opportunity for him. So it's quite nice like that. It's very Irish, I would say.
Yeah, look, as I said, I hold no ill will, I suppose, to him. If it squares the circle, if it gets him back, if it kind of brings him back in and it sort of heals an old wound, then you know what? Why not? What's the harm? To be honest with you, but from going forward, I'm not sure. I think what Brian Kerr offered from a technical director point of view, I do think, by the way, he should have been involved. And the way he went out, I agree with him not being Ireland manager. I agree with him not having his contract renewed, because people forget how that campaign finished. It was a damn squib. It was dreadful, and he lost the players. He did lose the players. But he should have been involved in some aspect, and he wasn't, and that was John Delaney's fault. No, Mooney tried to get him back in, but then I don't know why. What his issue?
It was a John Delaney thing, though. That's what, like, people saying I was too late now coming back, and it in a way is, but he's still been involved and interested in Irish football, and he's been a pundit and things like that. I know it didn't work out for him going to Faroe Islands, and he's not been involved in club football anywhere else. But I think it's just. Yeah, I think it's not the worst move in the world. It's not going to be lots and lots of money, I wouldn't imagine. It's a bit
he's not
a link. It's a bit of a link as well to
a
bit of security kind of blanket in a way, to the lads. Like John O'Shea won a European competition with him and things like that. It's that kind of. It's kind of keeping the kind of old team back together, but not in the sense that it happened with Stan. Do you remember that? Like we've spoken about that quite a bit. That debacle basically, and it was all that was a massive PR stunt and a big look, all the fans are engaged and Damien Duff's back to his best. This is a little bit different. This is like a new FAI pathway. They're investing in their coaching. People who've been on their coaching courses. So John O'Shea, Glenn Whelan's been involved in the underage as well. No problem with seeing him in there. McCarthy obviously is very good, like great reputation, more experience, I think, than John O'Shea. But I like the fact that it's the John O'Shea name. It's bigger. It's a bigger profile. Now whether that's going to work or not, if that's going to work or not, I don't know. But Kazi would have that profile. I mean, all of them are going to come with risk, and there's probably it comes down to money as well. Let's be honest, and it also comes down to what the FA want to do, and they're trying to really show that we believe in our pathway, and these people are part of it.
You came in for a bit of welly on our last episode, didn't you, on State of Play when John O'Shea was announced? You were told you were kicking the can down the road yet again, just like the Kenny Project, all over John O'Shea. Another fella said, Martin, you're making a show of yourself with the Man United bias here. Your response to those, Martin? You're
well, on the
which
bias,
I agree, by the way.
No. I think with the responsible, I think I was quite open on the show last time. I said I'm a Man United fan, love John O'Shea, and I said it's a Man United bias here without doubt. I want to see him involved in Irish football. I know the experience isn't there, but I've no problem with him being involved in it. And again, we can't. It's ridiculous. Some of these, I know we're going to go on talk about Bilić and stuff, and other people with names in it. We can't afford them. Let's be honest. We can't be. And they're not going to be there for the long-term investment of Irish football. Former Irish players will be. I believe that.
Yeah, no, I do too. But I do agree with them. Your bias is absolutely disgraceful. Tell us what you think, though, folks. Is Martin biased? Has he got what's this little? Oh, I believe in John O'Shea. There you go. He's even got it on his handle there. That's why I took it off there. Have your side, leave a comment, get involved, and are you happy with Brian Kerr? Are you happy with Brian Kerr back? We'll get to those comments towards the back end of the program. We're going to move it on to Slaven Bilić. Came out last night. So here we go. I want to make sure I've got that. So Mirror Sport had on their Twitter, exclusive, Slaven Bilić is now hot favourite to get the Ireland job. That came from Gary Doyle. Here is a few notes from his article. He says, well-placed sources have indicated that Bilić, 55, is now the front runner to fill the vacancy. Would not be in a position to take the job until May, after the conclusion of the Saudi Pro League, where he's currently manager with Al Fatah. Sources have indicated that the FAI's financial offer of around €520,000 per year would be acceptable to the Croat, who would welcome the chance to work on a long-term project, as the FAI intend making a 4-year offer to the new boss. They also now have the safety net of knowing that if talks with Bilić don't work out, O'Shea is in place. Then the next day, we had this. Oh, not that. This. The 42.ie. No FAI contact with Slaven Bilić over Republic of Ireland job. The 42 understands that the Croatian is unaware of interest from Abbottstown bosses. And the Irish Examiner chimes in as well. It says, actually, Bilić is contracted until 2025. It surely puts the FAI off, Martin. What do you make of it? I mean, Slaven Bilić, he's in the Saudi Pro League. Is this really what we want? First of all, is this who we want? Second of all, is this another kite being flown by the FAI?
This is shite. Without doubt. It's rubbish. It's just not even a story. I can't have it as well. I wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want him.
But
I
do you
don't
think
care
it's going to happen?
what he's done. No, it's not going to happen, and it's rubbish. It's just a clickbait article, and it's absolute nonsense. I can't see it. And like I said, I would not want him involved. No. It's away from what the FAI are trying to achieve. They want to put in a head coach. They want someone who, if the head coach then gets tapped up by another country or a club and goes into club football, that they can bring in another head coach and it doesn't all unravel below the scenes, below the surface. That's the way most football teams are going now, international teams as well. So
do you know
I can't see it.
I have to say, this has really highlighted some of the conjecture from the Irish media, I think. Just some mad stories coming out here. Like, just, is it, because I was talking to a friend of mine today, And he was saying, Jesus, like, some of the names on this list, like, they're absolutely, depressing, and I was saying back to him, see what you think of this, Martin, was that, well, I think it shows you where we are, where a real standing is, not just on the pitch, but from administration level as well, the standing of the FAI. These are the sort of names that we're looking at, real bargain basement here. I mean, I know some Slaven Bilić will have his fans. However, his managerial career, he did well with Croatia for 6 years, but that was 12 years ago. He had spells with Lokomotiv Moscow, Besiktas, West Ham United did okay, then it fell apart. Then it's been El Ittihad, West Brom, didn't last too long there. Beijing, Watford didn't last too well there. And he's currently manager of Al Fatah. Not for me either, to be honest with you. Maybe 10 years ago, perhaps, he would have been exciting. Oh, yeah, something a bit different. However, also the fact that the FAI, if he's got a year remaining on his contract, it doesn't matter if the Saudi Pro League finishes in May. There's absolutely no way they're going to pay for anyone out of the contract. And besides, like, it's just, yet again, it's just more conjecture. Like, well, actually, his season finishes in May, and he's kind of around, what the FAI are looking for. Because I'll give you another. Where was it? I had a little. Oh no, it was on the article itself. But it goes in. Apparently, he has a preferred formation at the FAI, like, and all this. And I'm thinking, this is bollocks.
It is. I can't see any grounding behind it at all.
It's been a lot of that.
I want to see it. It has just. I think it's just been looking at who's not in a contract and who might be. It's just speculation. It's trying to keep the interest there, of course, because it did fall off a little bit with the Oireachtas debacle. But then we're back on it now, and obviously the press releases, and there's a press conference tomorrow, I believe, as well. So it's helping a bit with the kind of interest, I suppose. But yeah, it's just speculation. They must be very close to knowing who they want when they're saying April. I know that we've had the kind of thing, it's going to be February and things, but this is the FAI we're dealing with. Everything never happens. It never happens date-wise that they're going to say the FAI. That's just it.
I've said from day one, right? Like, I think basically if they unveil Carsley, I would say fair play to the FAI. Honestly, I would say fair play to the FAI, because they've had all the journalists squabble around the place, like, just, it has to be this guy, and look, we'll put 2 and 2 together over here, and we'll get this guy, and we'll do our maths and we'll get this guy. It's just been all like that. It's been complete and total conjecture. And at the end of it, they go, no, we got Lee Carsley. We just had a little bit of a thing with the financial package, and it turns out he wanted to finish. He just wanted to have his 2
England,
the under-21s, because he's a professional, and he's very grateful for what they've done for him, and he wants to make, if it goes wrong, he wants to go back. And we just in that time, we did have John O'Shea, and we did have this other guy, Brian Kerr, coming in, and it's all part of it. And we just want to smooth things over. And yeah, that was it, really. No, we knew it, but we had to keep digging away, because this was the guy that we wanted. And no, we never asked any of these guys whatsoever. I would say fair play to the FAI. Now, if it turns out that John O'Shea does get the job in the end after all of this, I'll be like, wow, this is a complete mess. This was a total mess. Because let's be honest, if it was John O'Shea, and he went out and announced John O'Shea, it would have been John O'Shea announced long ago. So it wasn't John O'Shea. So if it's not Lee Carsley, whoever they announce, Martin, it's not going to be the number 1 pick. And if it's not Lee Carsley, I think that will pose more questions than answers.
Yeah, if it's not Lee Carsley and they appoint John O'Shea, the narrative may well be, we didn't want to put the pressure on these March games, so we called it interim, put the backroom staff, and we were agreeing all the people in the background, because I think they're still going to bring in some coaches in the background and things like that. They're still doing this restructuring
of course,
within the FAI, of course. So I think that will be their get out, and the answer to John O'Shea's press conference when he's announced as main manager of the years, that, do you not think to yourself, were you number 1? Do you think? And he's just going to be turning around and saying, look, as far as I'm concerned, I was given the opportunity, and now they want me, and that's fine. A little bit like what's happened with Eileen Gleeson, temporarily doing it with the women's. Yeah. And that seems to be Mark Canham's thing. Maybe that takes the pressure off. You could well say that. So I wouldn't be as negative about it if it was John O'Shea, that, it's the backup idea, because Carsley's never come out and said, I'm interested, or no one's actually confirmed. We've had sit-down talks with Carsley.
That's the thing.
And then we want to hear, like, even there's got to be more to it, that they've got to be chatting to Carsley, of course, because otherwise you would hope that with all the speculation and stuff, it's not helped the recruitment if Carsley turns around and go, I've never been interested in it. We'd want him to come out and say, I was never interested. Like, I've not taken it this time. I'm staying with England. You'd rather he do that than just let it all drag on and speculation mount. So I'm hoping it's just tidying up in the background.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's going to be. And I think it will be Carsley. But I think John O'Shea is, I think you said it the last time, I think the plan could be then John O'Shea would come in after. I mean, you've got to remember, even thinking back to Germany, Joachim Low, didn't he? He came in after Klinsmann, wasn't it? Was it Klinsmann?
Yep, Klinsmann was for that
World Cup.
2006 World Cup in Germany. And basically, it was Klinsmann, just to sort, because German football was in a state after Euro 2000. And World Cup 2002, and then basically, he came in to sort of unify the team, and then Yogi Low took it over and took it and won the World Cup with them eventually. I mean, it's been reported in the media that it's all temporary. John O'Shea's been told, under no circumstances are you getting this job on a full-time basis. But then, of course, it's the same media said Lee Carsley was wrapped up. Then Neil Lennon had it wrapped up. Then Chris Coleman had it wrapped up. Now Slaven Bilić has it wrapped up. It's just, it's complete. No, I tell you what, I think it's shown how the pressure I think certain journalists are under to deliver a headline, being perfectly honest with you.
It would be very interesting if Ireland hadn't got England in the Nations League, because now the narrative from the ticket sales and buy season tickets is see England, come and see England. Now, that's what commercially the FAI were hoping for in the Nations League draw, and they got that. So that has helped sell the tickets. Your only chance is to really have a season ticket. So that's kind of what I would see is also something I think we have to find relevant with this. They've not panicked and gone, we're going to bring a big name in. And, they could have drip fed lots of speculation of Roy Keane and things to sell the season tickets, basically. And that's why they might drip fed it out. But, it's been kind of well managed in some respects.
It's only well managed if you come out with Lee Carsley. I'm going to reserve my judgment on the FAI's performance on this with the outcome. With the end result. If they come out with Lee Carsley, it doesn't bother me that they had to have an interim manager. It honestly doesn't bother me, because look, things aren't straightforward. There's the money issue, there's the trust issue. Lee Carsley was part of the bad old days with John Delaney, all that stuff. There's a lot of water going under that bridge, and then he wants to make sure this is his first senior role since the reinvention of Lee Carsley, since he went off to Barcelona, Man City, and he completely reinvented himself as a contemporary coach. So I get all that, and it doesn't bother me if we have John O'Shea. We got the feel good factor back with Brian Kerr. Not as big as fan, but I'm all for it, whatever. But I will reserve my judgment till the end of it, really. And if they had come out with Lee Carsley at the end of all this, I'll go, yeah, grand, lovely, fair play. It was worth. And then, of course, the weight will put more weight, so to speak, on the shoulders of Lee Carsley. We're going to move on from this. The March fixtures. Of course, on the 23rd, we got Belgium at home. That's a 5 o'clock kickoff. And we have Switzerland home 3 days later. That is a 7:45 kickoff. Very interesting to see what happens there. Martin, are you ready for Social Media Watch?
Yes, I am, Dave.
Yes, we are. Hold on, let me play my little graphic. Right, Social Media Watch. I mean, there's only one place to go. We didn't really have anything, Martin, until you sort of pulled one out of the bag, and we're talking about a tweet. But yeah, this guy, a burner account, Dave at Jim 7777 now. He's got underneath it nothing. Joined June 2019, and that's around the time when a particular former CEO sort of left his position, I think, or the gardening leave or whatever around that time. So Martin, you brought this to my attention. Now, folks, if you are watching, let's have a little bit of a watch along here, right? If you can. So I want you guys watching, if you can, get that address at Jim 7777 now. I think I might have a link here, actually. Hold on. Let me get to the comment. So have a look at that, right? So if you can copy and paste that near put up. And I want you to head over to Twitter and put it in. because this is gas. Martin, he is following all the journos. Go on to his replies. Go on to replies there on his Twitter, and he is having a go at everyone, Martin, isn't he?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. A few journalists kind of broke this story, and that and it's quite funny their interaction this evening on Twitter. I'm not going to call it X; it's Twitter.
Yes.
It is that they're saying I'm honoured or I'm outraged. I haven't got a reply, and basically the narrative is that they think that it's John Delaney. He follows all the parody John Delaney accounts, which are actually quite entertaining. To be fair. And then, but like digging out journalists, digging out Kerr, digging out people.
Kerr comment. So Mark McCadden writes his comment on Kerr coming back. Brian Kerr's comeback is another nail in the coffin of the John Delaney era, even if it comes as the FAI falls back into the Delaney era style crisis. But it's an opportunity that cannot be wasted. And Dave, maybe John, response, bringing back a bitter 70-year-old man who slagged Kenny off and has not worked in football for years. If he's so great, why has he not got a serious role in football for 20 years? I mean, to be fair, that's a legitimate question. And then, of course, everyone's just in the responses, pictures of John Delaney. And even somebody has James Bond. Hi, John. Cut out, John. There's a tennis ball. Shut up, John. I think any more ice sculptures made, John? I mean, here's one. I mean, he's going after Gary Doyle, who broke the Slaven Bilić one there, and it's actually him breaking the story on Twitter. And here's well-placed source who told me Bilić is the leading contender. And Dave responds, "Nonsense as always from you." Alan Crawley, delighted to see Brian involved in the new setup. An absolute travesty. He hasn't been involved in some capacity for so long. Dave responds, off your head, Alan. He never qualified with some of our best players. We finished below Israel. He was left go by the Pharaohs after Pats as technical advisor. His analysis of Kenny was that of a bitter old man. He calls Daniel McDonnell a mouthpiece for the FAI, official mouthpiece. He calls Gavin Cooney a clown. Yeah, literally just clown. He goes, Ronan Coleman. I'm not sure who Ronan Coleman is. He responds to him, I'm tired of your nonsense, Coleman. I shared the Kilban article about the FEI a little bit under John Delaney, and that was on the 3rd of February. And Dave responds, more Kilban nonsense. So I'm not sure if he's following me or whatever. He's having a go at Kieran Crowley at the FAI, the communications director. And by the way, he's a good guy. He says, he's having a go at him. He's Joe Brolly.
Just on Kieran Crowley, just offer our congratulations on his engagement from Lansdowne. Roy got engaged the other day. Good to see.
Oh, I didn't know. No, congratulations. No, fair play. No.
Give us some lanyards.
There you go. He's not going to give them to us now, John. John. Not going to kill us too now, Martin. Go on, Martin. Rip off your mask. You are John Delaney. But yeah, like this is just crazy. And he's really having a go again at. I mean, he goes back to June.
He's having a go at names though in journalist circles, Irish football, and it's a big probably high profile kind of supporters who are involved in kind of supporters clubs, I suppose, or Why Big, who, let's be honest, have been a lot anti-Delaney for a long time and things. And, so it's quite funny how that's why it's kind of been kind of looked at and saw as this is why it could be him.
I think
like enemies of the state.
I mean, we didn't we cover last week Michael Beale. Because it's not uncommon.
Burner accounts are brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Beale, the sacked Sunderland manager and former Rangers manager, he had a burner account that went back to, well, allegedly, but it was an account where he was defending, but this account was defending Michael Beale, player direct. Oh, the Sunderland fans are toxic. Michael Beale's a great young manager, and they traced the account back to Michael Beale.
Yeah.
So it does happen. It does happen.
It does happen, yeah.
John Delaney, I think he follows me on LinkedIn, actually. Just saying. But have a look there anyway. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this account. So if you're watching Dave. Yeah, keep it up. This is good. This is interesting. This is the sort of content we need, Martin, isn't it? On Lansdowne Roar Live.
Yeah, it is funny, and yeah, do follow it and do watch it because it's gonna have legs. This one, I think.
I think so too. Does he follow me yet? Hold on. Does he? No. He only follows 42 people, and those 42 people are RT News, Neville Southall randomly. He's not an Everton fan, is he, John?
No, Man United fan.
Jared Gilroy, Elon Musk, John Duggan, sports broadcaster, George Best lookalike.
Yeah, I know him.
Didn't he go on the lash? Was it one where he went on the lash with him or something?
No, he's a good lad. Yeah,
no, yeah, of course. Gareth Bale, he follows Jonathan Hill, Claudine Kane, Leah Varadkar, Noel Mooney. We like Noel, by the way. The Times, Noel Hunt, Philip Quinn, John Green, all these second captains. Dan McDonald, Tony O'Donoghue, George Hamilton, not John Delaney, John Baptist FAI. Yeah, which actually I'm following all of those right now as I go through this. Why big? Actually. Richard Sadler. Oh, I don't know. Stephen Bergen. I'm not sure who's Stephen Bergen. He follows me. Just a fan, I suppose. I hope I haven't offended somebody there. I don't even know date is half the time. But anyway, yeah. So that is that account there at Jim7777. Now. Right. Yeah. Martin, are you ready for the comments?
I am, yeah, of course, yeah.
Super stuff. Declan Strannon on our Facebook. How you doing, Declan? McShane and Reynolds to be brought on to John's back room.
Yeah, not heard about it. I will try and find out about this. Because McShane is at Man United, isn't he?
Give me a text.
I can't at this time.
No, you can't now, can you?
No. But yeah, no, I will try and find out a bit about that.
You better. You're supposed to be a broadcast journalist. Earn that. Earn that lanyard. Joseph Lennon. How you doing, Joseph? Lads, that Bilić stuff was some crack. Not a hope he was anywhere near it. No, I think we both said it. Joseph, Martin didn't mean we said it's absolute nonsense. Not a hope that's going to happen. If he does have a year left on his contract, that any sort of payoff, not a chance. Watch tomorrow. We'll be scrambling to do a live with Martin. Sebastian Elton, how you doing, Sebastian, on our Facebook channel? Remember when Kerr was in charge for the 2006 qualifiers? We were in such form at the time that some pundits were picking us to beat France. It feels like a different universe now. The member berries are hitting strong tonight. I do remember, Sebastian, basically Kerr lost the Ireland team after he threw away 2 extra points against Israel at home. 2-0 up, flying. Duff and Andy Reid interchanging, absolutely tearing the Israelis apart. King gets injured, brings on Graham Kavanagh. Yeah, he brought on Graham Kavanagh, didn't he? Put Duff on the left. No, he put Duff up front with Morrison, Kilban on the left, Andy Reid stuck on the right. And then it was 2-2 at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. The member berries are always working here. Joseph Lennon. My thoughts on O'Shea and the interim team is that I don't think they will be interim. I think this is the new guys team with a couple of lads helping out until he takes the reins. Makes no sense to be bringing the likes of Paddy McCarthy in for 2 games, seeing he is so highly rated. I think that's a good, that's a nice angle there. Not an angle, sorry, it's the wrong way, but maybe good view in it there, Joseph. I mean, he did say, didn't he, Mark Canham, that we're going down the Alan Gleeson route with this a little bit. And maybe he was kind of, certain people who kind of want to tell you these things, but they can't really tell you, but they sort of give you a little flight and you go back and go, oh, yeah. Maybe he's hiding it in plain sight. But that's the same thing with Eileen Gleeson. No, she's not going to get the job. She's an interim manager. She's just in charge for the Nations League, one or 6 games, and she got the job on a full-time basis. I don't know. Pat Roach Carsley in April? Possibly. Hopefully, Pat. Do you reckon, Martin? Yeah? Still?
I think that's I do have the kind of idea that that's their number 1 target, but I wouldn't have a problem with John O'Shea, and that's in my extreme bias.
Very extreme bias. Brandon Walsh. Paddy McCarthy is more qualified to manage the team than O'Shea.
He is, but he's not got the profile name, and that is a key thing. They want someone who can talk to the media, and O'Shea can. That is, I know it's not about a nice guy, but it's someone who then, like, not, squeaky clean, but a winner ultimately. You can't knock his medals, you can't knock his achievements with Ireland, and as a player, senior pro, conducted himself really well at Sunderland in that debacle, very, very loyal to them, captain of teams, a natural leader. It's a risk, of course. He hasn't got the experience, but Carsley's experience is with the under-21s. And where do you get experience? Like you can't, like, we slag. No, but we slag off though. Look, you have to give people opportunities. And also the fact of it is, I know it's kicking the can down the road. Some people would say, or I've been referred to before, but profiles get you jobs, right? Lampard, Rooney, and Gerrard have all got jobs in senior management, right, of big clubs. Based on their names. That's the fact of it. And John O'Shea is ultimately a name.
No, I agree
and
there.
That's why Ireland can go into it and affordable as well. And he's done it through the FAI thing. This talk of bringing in a manager like Bilić, he's not going to be for the long term of Irish football. Whereas John O'Shea is coming from he's a company man in a sense, without being a company man.
He is a company man. No, he is a company man. But I think John O'Shea's doing it for the love of it, because let's be honest, he doesn't need the money. He's independently wealthy. No, that's just the way he is. No, I do. And he is a name, and people were ringing me up. Come on, John O'Shea. Everyone, like anyone spoken to over here in London. But no, I mean, I do think whoever gets it, he'll be next in line. I think he will be after whoever gets.
And just go on to this as well, right? Like, I know people say, what criteria has Paki Bonner got? Like, what qualifications to be able to appoint in the managers?
What I was aiming at.
Most of the heads, most of the heads of the countries in UEFA, the figureheads of different nations, are former players of that era. That's just it. That's how it happens. You go and become like Eto'o, I think. Is it Cameroon? He's the head of them. They're multimillionaires now, a lot of them, right? But they're doing it for the investment of football and probably to keep their profile as well. But they're on that. I was going to say gravy train, but for some of them it would be.
Yeah.
They're all former players for internationally and quite famous and household names, and that's just how it is in football. It's
that's
a
just
small
how
world,
it is,
that's
just how it is. Martin's mate, Paki Bonner. Hold on, where is it? There we go.
No, there you go.
There we go. Oh God, you're so transparent, aren't you? We can see right through you, Prendergast. Right through. Oh, I love John O'Shea. I love John O'Shea. Oh, John O'Shea for Ireland. Oh, I love Paki Bonner. You're so. I don't even know how I do a podcast with you sometimes. Oh God, do you see what I have to work with, folks? Like, he's so biased. I said the other day, what was it you said the other day? Oh, John O'Shea. I said I would have Anthony Barry over John O'Shea. No, I'll take, you take a bullet for John O'Shea, wouldn't you? You fucking would.
Yeah, I would. It's just Irish, though. That's what they want to do. I don't think we could just complicate things so much.
Oh yeah, well,
that's just going to happen.
If they unveil John O'Shea after all of this, if they went with him from the get-go, you go, all right, fair enough. It's a punt, but I get it. But after all of this, all this convoluted stuff, and it's John O'Shea, that will cause problems.
No, it wouldn't.
It would.
And the other thing, like, we're just disillusional. Serious. Like deluded. Sorry, that's the word. Right. You're not gonna, people think, we could go in for Jose Mourinho now, and
no, come on,
it's just not happening. No, but I'm just saying, some of the people put out there, they weren't ever going to come in for Irish football for the long term benefit of it, and that's what they've got to kind of do. That
you leave our faithful alone, Martin. Having to go with.
But them. I do. Yeah, look, everything's going to be a risk, but look, we're broke. We need to kind of give it all a lift. We need to get sponsors in.
Give it to John O'Shea.
It's a profile. It's a profile. Like, you're not going to have. You'll have no. What I'm saying is, like,
he's getting angry. You're getting angry, man.
What I'm saying is that like, even the support of pundits, former teammates, and stuff, I think they'll give benefit to him as a former teammate and name, rather than even Kenny, because I don't think probably a lot of them rated Kenny, to be very honest. Whereas I think they'll know that this is part of a project. I'll be accused of it's kicking it down the road, but we've got to be realistic. Like, I don't know what people really want. I know we put that out there before. Like, we'll put it out there to the viewers now. Who do you actually want? Who we
Lee
can
Carsley.
get? Lee Carsley is the one. Yeah, he is one.
Yeah.
But O'Shea is definitely coming to the equation.
All right.
Said that. I said it when he was tarred with the Kenny thing. It will be a massive risk, but he'll take the job. And
okay, we'll see. But yeah, did you see actually?
And hopefully, he does what Alex Ferguson did at Scotland when he dropped Hansen, right? Pissed off Kenny Dalglish, and hopefully he does that with Kelleher. Piss off Liverpool fans. No, I'm joking.
Well, of course we could play the Man United.
Bring in Roy. Bring in Roy.
Yeah. Well, you definitely played Keller being a Cork lad. Did you see, actually, speaking of Cork lads, Damon Delaney came out when Stephen Kenny said that there was some snobbery from certain sections of the media, ex-players. And somebody said to Damon Delaney, oh, do you reckon he was talking about you? Oh, no, I didn't have any snobbery towards Stephen Kenny. And I thought you were delusional, Martin. Jesus. Right. Let's move it on. Richard Joyce. Kelleher should start, Brian. Kelleher should start. Brian Kerr should have been an interim manager, not John O'Shea. The man's only in management a wet week. Seems pointless having him in the interim role. Kerr would be a much better choice, says Richard Joyce. I mean, he hasn't managed for nearly 20 years, to be fair. I think, what was it, 08? 07 when he was involved at the Pharaohs, and he was director of football, I think, after. Well, that's what John says on on Twitter anyway. But an interesting take. Kerr's return would massively piss off John Delaney. That alone is worth it. Agreed. Definitely agreed. David Kennedy, do we not remember Kerr in charge? It was a disaster, afraid to win games. Yep, alluding to that 1-1 in Tel Aviv and a 2-2 at home to Lansdowne, in Lansdowne Road. If we had won those two games against Israel, by the way, we would have actually qualified. We would have won the group.
Yeah,
just putting that out there. Richard Joyce, what do you think of Slaven Bilić, the new favourite? I think he'd be a great choice. Stands out from the rest of who's come and gone in this build-up to a new manager. I don't think it's going to happen, Richard. I don't know, Martin, you said it won't. I don't know. I think it's a little... I would have liked Slaven Bilić about 8 to 10 years ago. For me, I think he would have been exciting, but I think now he's a busted flush. When you look at the teams he's managed, Al Fatah, Watford for a wet week, Beijing, Guan, West Bromwich Albion, and then Al Ittihad before that. Like, he doesn't really scream, success at you, does he? That's just my take on it. Anyway, Conor Murray, is the Kerr move a PR stunt, bringing him back to the FAI way too late in the day? Back around 2006, he should have been involved with the underage sides. I agree with you there, Cormac. Yeah, I think he's 71 now. Happy birthday to Brian Kerr. I think he's 71 today. You kind of think, how much energy can he have? I'm not having a go, not being ageist. Let's be realistic here. But yeah, I think it is a bit of a PR stunt. I think it's just to appease. I used the word assuage earlier on. I think it's to appease the League of Ireland fans a little bit. And Cormac Murray again, didn't McAteer slate Kerr? Said he had no major respect for him. Didn't rate him back in 2005. McAteer, in talking to an opinion, he's had too much to say at times. Martin, you love Jason McAteer, don't you?
I'm enjoying listening to Jason McAteer's stories on Under the Kosh podcast. We're very well worth a listen. We've heard it all before, of course, some of it, but very divisive character, I think. I would dare to say, yeah, it was good. But I would, we've had a lot of players over the years score memorable goals for Ireland. I think I've said this on the podcast before, and they kind of do live off it a little bit. Had a good career, Jason McAteer, but he calls things out, and I think sometimes he forgets how he behaved and what he did and things. And yeah, not always brilliant.
He stuck his toothbrush. He stuck John Aldridge's toothbrush up his arse. That's according to Jason McAteer.
Yes, no, I did. Yeah, that is a story. Yeah, horrific story. I mean, Under the Kosh is brilliant, right? But yeah, and that's tame, actually.
Yeah. I can see why. I see Roy Keane had a point.
Yeah, I mean that just used to mess around. But I like it. I actually just think of Jason McAteer in the fact that he was one of the ones who didn't he go to Roy Keane's room in 2002 to say goodbye. We borrowed a DVD off him or something. That was a funny story. But that's on the second part. It's Under the Kosh. There's going to be a bit more about Roy Keane and stuff. And
I will look forward to that one. Colin McSubna. What about the Twitter account, lads? That might be somebody who was previously employed with the FAI Court of Neil. I think we've gone beyond that, Colin. Yeah, John Delaney. We all think it's a John Delaney border account. Dave McGuinness, how you doing, David? Well-placed sources. Jesus, how desperate are these guys for a headline? Alluding to Gary Doyle and Amir. And Slaven Bilić, I have to agree there. And he continues, Bilić complete baloney. Yeah, I think it's just a lot of it, David, is literally it's conjecture. It's all conjecture. No one knows. Felix Unger, how you doing, Felix? Martin's mate. Are some people saying that if Ireland do well in the next 2 games, O'Shea should get the job? Martin is, by the way, Felix. Just saying it. Martin is definitely saying that. That's a deal breaker then, and 2 meaningless friendlies. Ridiculous. And Kerr was a terrible manager, no doubt. Do you know what, Felix? I think we feeling the simpatico here. Do you want to respond to your mate?
Meaningless friendlies, though. Like, there's an opportunity for some of the players now to come back in under a new regime, I suppose. New ideas. I know O'Shea was there with Kenny, but I don't think he had a massive say in it. And I actually like the continuity of it in a sense. And I don't really mean it's meaningless, though, are they? Like, we need to perform in these and get decent results to get the fans back on board. And there'd be a lot of worry going into the June games and then the qualification, the Nations League games, especially in September, the first one with England. There's a lot of pressure going into that if they don't get good results here. So I wouldn't say they're meaningless in that respect.
Okay. God, you just won't say anything bad about John O'Shea, will you? John Murphy, what do you make of the Slaven Bilić rumours? Does not contradict the plan Mark Canham has. Personally, I still think it's going to be Carsley once the under-21s qualifiers are up. John, I 100% agree with you. Yeah, I wouldn't read into Slaven Bilić comments whatsoever. And yeah, I think once they're done in March, they don't have a game till September, Martin, do they?
No. So yeah, that's why it's a possibility, and I think it will be progressing with that.
New York measure on what a shambles the FAI are. They had almost as many appearances in front of the Oireachtas Committee, that's 8, that Ireland have had competitive victories since 2009, which is 9. And when you consider 4 of those wins were against Gibraltar, yeah, it doesn't really give you much hope, does it? G, how you doing, G? Bilić is a great candidate, by the way. His personality could also be a great match. I do think, he's a very. When he got fired by West Ham, I think he actually got in contact with the players and said, lads, where did it go wrong? What did I do wrong? He blamed it on himself. He's like, what helped me grow? He's that kind of, he's very, he's a different character, isn't he? Like he's quite a character, I should say. Because normally managers sort of like Martin O'Neill, when they get in contact with former players, they call them tossers, don't they? just ask Matt Doherty.
Yeah.
That's what he did. He actually rang Matt Doherty and called Matt Doherty a tosser several times before hanging up. Newry, Ronan Coleman is a you boys in green bigwig. Okay, so that's one of the accounts that Dave follows on Twitter. That would make perfect sense, actually. And of course, it wouldn't be a Sunday night without this man here, Kieran Boyle in sunny Florida. Lads, if we had a proper jersey manufacturer like Adidas or Nike or even Puma, the jerseys would be flying out the door and the FAI would have more money to spend on a decent manager. The story was short-sighted. Look at the amount of teams trying to get out of their deals. Look good, play good. Hashtag away to Jesus with the story. Hashtag we want Adidas or Nike. Well put, Kieran, of course. Adidas. Stephen Ring, how you doing, Stephen? On YouTube. I know I'm in the minority, but I'm still not blown away by Carsley. Yes, he was a great servant to the country, but he's only ever managed 18 senior games. The squad he had with England was exceptional. I think that's a fair point, Stephen. Look, we want Lee Carsley, but we both, correct me if I'm wrong, we both accept that it's a punt.
Yeah.
It's going to be a punt. And I think that's where we are. FAI money-wise, it's going to be a punt. Richard Joyce, Jesus, how can you not have a problem with O'Shea? The man has no experience as a manager. He has a Steve Staunton job, pissing in the wind, giving him the job. Martin?
It's a punt, as you just said. Even with Carsley, they're affordable, and that's where we are. That's where we fall into. They don't want to go down the route of Big Sam anyone of that ilk, basically.
Big John
Steve
instead,
Bruce,
yeah.
they're not gonna go with it. They're not gonna be there for the pathway, long-term investment. And I know that it's always kicking it down the road. They've got someone will be
That's
in
got
there
to be Martin, hasn't it?
Well, there'll be someone. I just think, why are we deluded? Like, why are we? It's not kicking it down
Martin,
the road if you're putting in place a qualification campaign 4 years.
Martin kicking the
4
can
years.
down the road yet again, just like the Kenny. It's a project. The next tournament isn't a priority. He's a gentleman. Heard it all before. This is Solskjaer written all over it. A friendly win against a team who are third gear, and the usual sort will be out demanding he's given a job permanently. Interim means interim. Carsley is the future. Also, there will be numerous managers available in the summer at the end of domestic seasons and the Euros. That's what you said to you, Martin. Just wanted to remind you.
Yeah, it's fine. But I know what you said, but it's fine. I've no problem with that. We want interaction. Thank you to everyone for their comments so far. But at the same time,
Martin,
anyone coming in here is a risk with this young team. We haven't even over the last few months been able to really talk too much about the players and who's coming into it. I mean, I know we've done Obig earlier, but it might be worth just having a quick chat now. Sinclair Armstrong, another fantastic goal. Mikey Johnson's goal is good. We've got an exciting. Ben A's doing well, getting a bit of a profile. I know Evan's gone off the boil a little bit, but I mean, I can't believe people are even questioning that. The guy's 19 years old. That is an exciting group of players coming in, right? That you're coming in to manage, and it's going to take them time. It's not going to be a new manager, Steve Bruce or Bilić coming in there. It's still working with those players, but you've got to have the background stuff all sorted. And you've got to try and do your best to motivate them and get them in an organised system. And yeah, O'Shea won't be massively experienced with that. Neither will Carsley, though, in some respects. And that's where perhaps you do need different voices. They played at high levels, a lot of these guys as well. People saying, oh, Paddy McCarthy's a more experienced coach. Yes, he is, but he's not an experienced manager. But that's what we were saying, weren't we? It's not actually hard to be a manager. You need to have good coaches. And if they get the coaching staff right, Dave, you could probably do the job to motivate them.
I beg your pardon. Of course I could do the bloody job.
Yeah.
I'm fabulous. Here, I've just been sent something here on WhatsApp, actually, a bit of breaking news. I didn't see this. We're going back to, the Dave Twitter. This is all sort of breaking here. This is brilliant. You said this is Jonathan Hill. Hold on. Let me just put this on here. This is what we do on Lansdowne Live. We sort of throw breaking news at you here. This was just made available to me. Hold on. Bear with me. It was to do with the Euro 20. The Euro 20. Is it 2028? Is it that we're hosting?
Yes.
Yeah. You having a glass of water, Martin? Are you calm now?
Are you
calm? Are you sure? You want to talk about it? Defending Joe O'Shea there. This is what you said to Jonathan Hill. Hopefully you can visit Dublin for one of the games.
I hope it is him.
Martin, I need this to be John Delaney. I need this now in my life. This has to be John Delaney. Thank you.
That is so good.
That is brilliant. Thank you for sending that in. That came to me via WhatsApp. I had to, and kind of breaking the protocol, but I had to add that in. That is brilliant. Let me try and find.
That is so good.
It is brilliant.
That is so good. Yeah.
Archduke actually comments on.
It's kind of made my day. That, to be fair, this
coming up. I hope you come to Dublin. Oh, amazing. Archduke 8199. I wonder if Dave is watching in tonight, lads.
And the emojis are the best bits.
Oh my God, I love it. Thank God you found that, okay, Martin. Nuri Nurik, only way John O'Shea would get the Ireland job permanently is if his Ireland beat Belgium and Switzerland. Seriously doubt that will happen. John Buckley, barring disastrous results for Belgium and Switzerland, it will be John O'Shea. I think so too. I think as long as he doesn't get hiding, he'll be the backup plan. Sebastian Knowlton, I just remember that Kerr was given the job ahead of Peter Reid, Brian Robson, and Philip Troussier. I wonder if any of them would like a crack now. I wouldn't touch any of them with a barge pole, to be honest with you, Sebastian. Just time is gone. I remember Peter Reid actually wanted to he was going to get an Irish passport just to prove his Irishness, being a Scouser called Reid. Did you ever get your Irish passport, Martin?
Yeah.
Stephen Ring.
My
For me,
2002. My Irish passport. I didn't know this, right? But when I went to the World Cup in 2002,
yeah,
right, I will tell this story again on another show. But when I went to 2002 World Cup, I'd been on a stag do to where was it? Ennis, about a week and a half before. It was actually the time of the friendlies, and the team was setting off. So it's before Saipan, and we ran into the team and stuff. But like Roy Keane has signed my passport. I had nothing to get signed, but I was remember talking to Matt Holland in WH Smith's, and I was kind of hungover, and I thought I'm gonna get their autographs and stuff. And I'm going off to the World Cup. I'll see you in a few weeks, whatever. And but I got it all signed, not realizing that if you deface a passport, it makes it
void.
void. So when I was going for traveling there, I had to kind of say, "Oh, it was my little brother did that. I don't have a little brother."
Wow.
Anymore, no. But yeah, that was it. Yeah. My passport was signed by Roy Keane. So Roy Keane did go to the World Cup.
Is that what makes you an honorary Irishman? Is it that he signed your?
That's it. Yeah.
Fair enough. That's a good story, actually.
Do you know the thread of? I love this because the Aviva Stadium is in the Irish passport. Did you know that on one of the pages?
Is it?
Yes. Ah, so
I don't sit. Listen, Martin.
Right.
I have an Irish
and there's
passport.
horses in it, and then there's the no. But do you know the thread on the middle of it of the kind of binding?
It's, the thread. I thought you meant Fred. Like who's Fred?
The thread. Not the Brazilian
thread.
The
thread.
Yeah.
The thread.
That is green, white, and orange. You need to look at these things. That. You don't.
God, is that when you get your Irish
full
passport?
Of knowledge. I probably have a little bit quizzy
from the London Embassy. Get your Irish passport from the London Embassy, and you start when you get off the plane down what's it, Kilkenny or whatever, and you start kissing the ground. Oh, I'm home.
Yeah, that's it.
John, give us a pair of boots, John. Love you, John. Remember me, David? David, do you remember the time in Saipan? God. Right. We're moving on.
Who are you talking to? Who did you message recently?
I messaged Mark Lawrenson, and he responded. And he responded. And
as well. Do you remember when I stalked you? Remember when I stalked you around Gibraltar, Jim?
That was Jim Beglin. Let's talk Jim Beglin. Get it right.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that when.
Sorry, I'm just trying to. I'm going to send you. Sorry, can you put up that other comment a minute ago with the wanker bit so I can just send this to you on WhatsApp? Change your name on my phone.
Oh, no. No, that way. Right, come on. We had to get through this. It's going to be here all bloody day. They're waiting for us. There's more comments coming in. Keep them coming in, guys, until we get to the end. Stephen Ring, for me, I still think Harry Ranard could be the best option. I know he took a massive pay cut to get the French women's job, but wouldn't be ridiculous money. If money's no object, then Johan Low is a great option.
Hang on a second. Stephen, is that your comment or Nick? Is that Nick's burner account?
Comment, is it? Yeah.
Nick's burner account. He's a fan of her. He is a fan of her.
He loves Harry Ranard.
Yeah.
Good shout. A few people
good shout.
Yeah. To be fair,
Joachim Low, wasn't he a bit itchy and scratchy and sniffy
and smelly and sniffy of his crotch? Yes, he was.
Welcome to Ireland.
I mean, he's fitting perfectly in Ireland. Let's be honest. Richard Choice. Good performance against Belgium and Switzerland will get John O'Shea the job. Then I hope we lose both by 8 goals each. Don't want to see any of the Kenny era around the Ireland team. No to John O'Shea. John O'Shea.
Involved in 10 games, John O'Shea. Just to say.
How many of those did we win?
I don't even know the stats of that, but the 10 games is what he was involved in. And that was the end, wasn't it?
John, it was the end, wasn't it? Thank God.
No, but, yeah.
At least Anthony Barry, when he came in, he saw an immediate impact. Didn't see that with John O'Shea. Just saying. Stephen Ring, hard to judge Bilić on his term at Watford. No manager there is given a chance. That is true. That is a basket case of a club, Stephen, to be fair. Conor McBretty. I'm sorry.
Remember West London? Supporter of West London?
Oh, yes, of course. How you doing, Conor? I'm sorry. I don't know what day it is most of the time. Damien Duff is the man now for the job. Great coach and has got the best out of an Albert Shells team, getting them to Europe. Highly thought of at Celtic during his time. Stephen Bradley wants him as Ireland manager. Shamrock Rovers manager Stephen Bradley, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's fair to say, Martin, very quickly, we did mention it on a previous podcast. Excellent coach, very well regarded. but he cannot manage upwards, can he? Could you imagine him with the FAI? He just could not manage upwards at all, could he?
He would hate them.
Yes, I think he hates everybody at the moment if you're not wearing a Shells top. David Nicholson. Quick question, lads. Is there a pitch inspection tomorrow at around 1 p.m. at Tallaght Stadium? Derry City have requested a pitch inspection before they travel.
Don't know.
Say one, Martin.
Honest answer.
I'll read out the questions. You find out. Go on.
I'm trying to find out.
Martin's going to find out for you. Stephen Ring, is there anything to be said for Kerr to replace Hill after the win? That new FAI, me bollocks. Stephen Ring, I don't know what, I'd say I don't know what his administration skills are like. And Brian Kerr, I certainly know what Jonathan Hill's administration skills are like. Let me get the picture. There you go. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. Has the time, passed for a Brian Kerr to be involved in the hierarchy of Irish football? Maybe hasn't. He does. Here's one for you, Martin. I think Irish football is so archaic, and it's so rudimentary at times that somebody like Brian Kerr, who is 70, 71 years of age, or whoever, could go into Irish football and make a difference because just the foundations of Irish football is so poor over the last few years that somebody could come in like that, and he could make a difference immediately because the setup is so poor in certain areas. So I don't know if Brian Kerr, maybe 15 years ago, I reckon. I mean, he was a technical director, wasn't he, at the FAI for a bit before Packy Bonner took over?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so
probably could do it. Adam Kavanagh, evening from California. Good man, Adam. Best thing for fans to do is ignore all speculation from the media about manager candidates. It's becoming very clear the FAI are not on the ball with it. I know, Adam, but the thing is, we'd have nothing to talk about on the podcast, would we? We're loving it. Adam Kavanagh, personally, I love the Kerr appointment. That has O'Shea's call written all over it. Hill and Cannon probably didn't even know who he was. Yeah, to be fair, Adam, yeah, probably. G, if we can't get Carsley, a risk. I want Bilić, or failing that, Keane, and failing that, wait for Ian Holloway. But I like Ian. Ian Holloway, no, that would be box office as well. Yeah, again, he was a good manager back in the day. Have you found that out, Martin?
No, they're doing previews of it. I can see that so there's no mention of a pitch inspection. So
no mention of a pitch inspection. See, that's what we do.
We're not based in not based in California.
We're in Blighty.
Yeah,
we're in Blighty. I got into serious trouble for saying back in Blighty after the Gibraltar game. Do you remember that? That was in Portugal. Do you remember when we told everybody, like, we put on this, welcome, we're in Gibraltar when we flew to Faro? And everyone's like, you're in the wrong airport, lads.
Yeah, Jesus. People start shouting at us.
They did.
Fucking idiots.
Not in Portugal, but yeah, on the Facebook page. Stephen Ring, I think Evan needs to leave Brighton. Nobody wants to pass to him anymore. Makes great runs, but nobody looks for him. I think the whole team, Stephen, is really suffering at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've gone completely off the boil. And when your team's off the boil, the strikers look back. He's not getting the ball. Stephen Ring, Dave could do the job, but he wouldn't be able to pronounce half the team names. Is that your burning account, Martin? Is it?
Brilliant. That is.
Don't like you anymore, Stephen.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Stephen Ring. Well, I mean, to be fair, it didn't do Jack Charlton any harm, did it?
Look, Bosun Lowell, you couldn't. That's another one. You couldn't name him earlier. Been talking about him on the pod for fucking months.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know anymore, man. Stephen Ring, if the Caseland Park redevelopment could be dead in the water with the amount of people trying to block it, unionists, what are the chances of getting an automatic spot instead of a playoff?
Yeah,
there's two spots, isn't there? Isn't there two spots? It's like whoever qualifies, and then there's two spots.
Out of the 5,
yeah.
So it's just England are through anyway, haven't they?
Yeah, let's be honest. Scotland probably are too, to be fair. Then hopefully Wales, and then it's just us in Northern Ireland through. Happy days.
Yeah.
Joseph Lennon, Peter Reid's family fought in 1916. That's true story. Yes,
that is true. Yeah,
that is true. New in New York, Javi Renard. In that case, I want Pep for Ireland boss. After all, that's as realistic a possibility. Fair enough. Dennis Jenkins, good crack, lads. A great podcast as always. Keep up the good work. Quite big. Thank you very much, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis. Now, Dennis went up to the poster as directed by me at the Clattering the other night and subscribed. So,
good man.
Cheers, Dennis.
Good man, Dennis. Appreciate it very much. No, we do. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Go on. You won't regret it. Stephen Ray, or if not Kerr, maybe Kenny instead of Hill. At least he lives in Ireland. I do think there's a place for Stephen Kenny in Irish football. Absolutely, Stephen. The Podge Quinn. Would Steve Cooper be a shout? Do you know, someone else said that to me, actually. My future brother-in-law said that to me. I'd take him. I really would. He's a quality manager, but we don't think we could afford him, Martin, could we?
Again, I don't know. Is he of the Asian profile that he'd want to do an international job? I don't know. He probably has club ambitions. He's going to be one of those who a club would come in for him. You know, he's going to be on the radar of everybody, isn't he? He's out of a job at the moment, probably doing the gardening leave as they do. You know, people think managers, they don't really understand football, how that works. You go out, when you get sacked, in a way, unless your contract stipulates it, basically you're on gardening leave, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because you know all the contracts of your players, you know what the kind of club budgets are as well. So I know that changes quite a bit, of course, but you're that's why lots of the time it's and the compensation, of course, but you know, the league, the LMA, the League Managers Association.
Great
Sometimes
game.
When a manager's sacked, no, but when a
it was a great game.
Right.
It was a great game. Sorry.
League Managers Association.
Yeah, it was a game. LMA manager.
Or was it? I don't know that. Anyway.
Were you not a gamer?
Yeah. Yeah.
You never played LMA manager?
Football manager and things like that. Championship manager.
No, LMA manager. You could build your own stadium. Oh, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on anyway. Yeah. But the LMA.
Kickoff. Do you remember Kickoff?
I do. I remember Kevin Keegan's.
Commodore
64?
Commodore Amiga, was it?
Yeah, it was Amiga and then it was Commodore 64.
Yeah, brilliant. There was a Man United game. Brilliant.
Man United in Europe.
Lord rest him. Brilliant game.
Man United in Europe. It was great, actually. Yeah.
Really good game. Yeah.
Do you know what
we've gone off on tangent on this.
We have indeed, but we'll come to the end of the comments.
That was fantastic, though. The kickoff was really good. Kickoff 2 was really good.
Sensible soccer.
Sensible soccer.
The first FIFA, though.
Come out.
First FIFA blew the whole thing open. Yeah. Do you remember Football Manager on the Commodore 64? And then you had Football Manager 2.
Yes.
It was from like 83 Football Manager. And then we got Football Manager 2. And I remember like buying Ronnie Whelan, but you couldn't save the thing because you had to put the tape in the tape thing, and you had to get a blank tape to save it. And it took about 4 hours.
Yeah. And you see it.
Yeah, and it had all the man.
Drive the discs.
Oh no!
I had the disc thing with the Commodore. That was nuts.
Oh no, we had the tape. We got it. We got it in Pete's on Parnell Street, the old shop there, and we got the Terminator 2 Judgment Day pack. And I remember, we should have got a Mega Drive actually. We got that.
They were great. Them football games were brilliant. Then, they were shite compared to now, of course, but like they were brilliant.
Do you know what? Were they though?
Yeah, they were
more enjoyable.
They were. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like the realism took it away a bit, didn't it? I remember spending hours editing names.
And the news. Oh, in the Man United game. I made Ireland.
Editing names and editing players. You could put yourself into it. Brilliant. Yeah.
And Ray McNamara, Emlyn Hughes International Soccer in the C64 for the win. If we're going to stay in this tangent, it's a bit of a tangent. I tell you what, right? I do love the old computer games from the day. The Commodore 64 games are phenomenal. But FIFA blew the doors wide open. FIFA 95 as well.
I'm going to bring us off on a tangent, and now we will have to do a chat about Sabutio, right? Okay, we will have to.
I do. And then there's been some shows.
But do you remember Super Cup Tomy Super Cup thing with the little kind of twiddly dial things, and the players moved up and down, and the ball was like tiny. You can get it now, right? You can't get new ones now, but you can buy the conditioned. You can buy them on eBay, like 150 quid.
Don't remember
something that used to cost like a tenner.
Sabutio.
Brilliant. Oh yeah, Sabutio. I still got that.
Yeah. For a Christmas present, I got the Italia 90 pack where you got, where Gary Lineker scores against us in Cagliari or Cagliari, whatever way you pronounce it. Yeah. And then basically he's running the ball into the net, and Chris Morris makes like that.
Trying to kill him.
Yeah, and I got that for Christmas. in Christmas 1990, and actually I rebought. I actually it's moved with me to East London and back down to South London where I live now. Road to World Cup 98, Dennis Jenkins.
Yeah, very good because you had to qualify, didn't you?
Yeah, with Ireland.
Yeah,
I didn't lose. I wasn't 10 points behind Romania in that one. We could go on here. I love all the old football matches. You know, I actually won the World Cup. It was the Road to World Cup. It was coming to the end of my oh, hold on. Raina McNamara. Hold on. Discussion of Sabutio as well. Jesus, lads, I'm glad I stayed up late for this. Had the same Sabutio set as David, going by the description of the packaging. And Ray, did you have the floodlights as well? It was the floodlight pack. I have them all.
You had the pitch invasions. I often do that because, you know, like you're the policeman on the horse.
Yeah.
The little set and the referee and the assistant. It's class. And you could even get the crowd that you could, if you were kind of bothered, you could paint them. But then you got people painted. But even the cameraman, the little stanchion with the camera.
We used to have the stands, and we used to have because we got
green fencing.
We had sets from the 70s. We went
to
where I lived in Clondalkin. They had a thrift shop down right across from Boss Hogs. Right, yeah, 2 floodlights forward would have been nice. Would have made more sense.
I had floodlights on my Sabutio before Lansdowne Road had floodlights.
So did I, actually. That's true. Yeah, we did. 93, was it? Yeah. I remember we had the sitting room, and then it was great. And I remember actually playing with the floodlights in the room with the lights off. It was phenomenal.
Waiting them with the batteries. They were like, "Give me the batteries."
I was a murder weapon. Yeah, actually, hold on. Hold on a second, right? Wait, I bought this.
I'll chat away with like.
Hold on.
I'll just be nostalgic on my own. Jesus, we don't know what you're going to buy now and bring back. But no, I'm going to just talk obviously to the viewers and try and hold this shit show together. But the other one we had, I actually brought all the recent Ireland players because they're if you get the new ones now, the players, they've got long hair. Some of them, like it's a Stephen Hunt one. I remember the last Irish kit. I brought the 2012 team, and it has Stephen Hunt basically as one of the players with long hair and. Yeah, they're not as good now, the figures, because they actually pop out of the holding bit in the middle.
Here,
really.
Have a look at this. Speed.
Yeah.
Look at the tension. I actually broke this one, but
Klopp's one, is it? Oh, very nice.
European Cup. 6 of those, Martin.
Yeah.
And,
but and the World Cup was. It used to be the World Cup used to be. It was the Jules Rimet one. You didn't get the other one. I don't know if they ever made the other one.
The other one is the Jules Rimet as well, isn't it? I think that must have been a really old one. Because I think they brought they're both called Jules Rimet. I believe, it could be wrong, and that was brought in 74. Anyway, we could talk. Maybe that's a podcast.
We have to chat. We are having to have this chat because I'm going to get all. Yeah. I went to I remember going to Jersey right in 1990, and it like getting spoiled and buying we would have 2 weeks during the World Cup actually, and buying all the different teams. And I played obviously Holland and Ireland in the groups and things like that. And then it was just such a great game. But I went to a car boot sale, and there was all the 1982 teams, and they used to have like more than just the 11. So I've still got them.
I've got the Italian 90 Ireland players. I tell you what, we will
the
do
Italian 90 ball. Do you remember that?
Oh, the tango.
It had the little fella on it. Ciao.
Oh yeah,
brilliant. Yes, I've got that somewhere.
I have that as well. Well, we're going to get through the last. We will do an episode that we'll be here all day, but I'm going to do a final. Going to go through the last few comments, and then we are going to wrap this up. G doubles down on his Ian Holloway. Ian plays good football and is a great character. He would give it his all. Yet again, maybe 10 years ago, he was a decent manager. He did a very good job. David Nicholson, thanks for that. Thanks, lads, for that. You're very welcome, David. Thank you for your support. Connor McBurty, Ollie Horgan is the man for the Ireland job. # Finn Harps legend. I mean, he does do great work there. David McGuinness, a bit of a report yesterday in the game between Brighton and Fulham. Was at the game in Craven Cottage yesterday. Zero service coming into him. Made no mistakes when he had the ball, but got absolutely nothing from the wingers all day. It's a team that is literally gone off the boil. Adam Kavanagh says it's not CA, it's actually a Canada flag. Sorry, it just comes up with a little CA. Adam, was the Revolut sponsor complete bollocks? I think so, yeah. Apparently, they had interest, but it wasn't enough. I read that. I heard that somewhere in the 42.
I did read not. They've not really invested in sponsorship and stuff. So they're thinking, why is it coming now?
They were offered.
Into it?
Yeah, they were offered money. Apparently, it wasn't from Revolut, I believe. But no, it's actually, Jesus, that's bad, isn't it? Apparently, they're going to have a new sponsorship, but apparently didn't offer any money. No, don't quote me on that. That's what I heard on, it was Balls.ie, I think it was. So I could be wrong on that. I'm just going to put that out there. But still no word on that. And you know what, Martin? We've got to the end. That is it. Thank you very much for your comments. Oh, hold on. Wait.
We actually have to do something now, Dave.
We do have to do something. We have to announce the winners of our YouTube. Did I do a poster for that? Is it? I don't have a poster for it, but it's a signed picture of. Here we go. So we did the competition. We did the draw before we went on air for the winner of the Shay Given and Packy Bonner posters. We got 2 to give away. So our winners, if you're watching, number 1 was Gavin Clark. Congratulations to you, Gavin. And the other is Connor Hackett. So it's Gavin Clark and Connor Hackett. And thank you very much for subscribing to the YouTube channel. We're going to give them about a week to respond. And if you don't get in touch, then we'll do the draw again. Because we want to give these away, Martin. These are fantastic prizes. 2 legends there, especially at Donegal. Packy Bonner and Shay Given. So congratulations to those. We're going to put a post up and we're going to try and get in touch with Gavin Clark and Connor Hackett. Congratulations to you both. Thank you for your support. Martin, we're going to leave it there. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching. We really do appreciate it. We love your support. We would be nothing without you. If you haven't already, guys, please hit the subscribe button. Share the love. We are trying to grow the YouTube channel. We do have some exciting projects coming down the line. Also, we're going through the Green Machine, Lansdowne Roar archive. We've just re-released the Terry Phelan interview. If you haven't seen that already, it's just been on there. We released it yesterday. Some great feedback on that. Great interview that Martin and Nick did a while back. Terry's a good man. Tells a great story playing under Jack, how he almost didn't play for Ireland because he thought Vinnie Jones was winding him up. It's all on there. It's a fantastic interview. We will be back during the week with State of Play. Martin, you and I will be. I'm not sure when.
Not sure when, because I'm off to Denmark on Tuesday.
He's off to Denmark on Tuesday with Enfield Town.
Enfield Town. Non-league European Trophy Hunt Phoenix Trophy. Very good idea. Hopefully they'll open. Well, Irish teams could consider going that in future, I think. So anyone who does follow Irish teams, non-league, for example, it's a good level and it's good. And they actually, it's the end of May is the semi-final stuff. Last year they played the finals in the San Siro. So this is going back to Copenhagen basically. I liked it there. So
Tally Parkin?
Right first. No, it's not. No, it's not there. It's on an Astro. It's on an Astro next to. There's no floodlights or anything. But
get me Sabutio ones.
There's a good crowd of us going. I think we're actually going on the. It's a Ryanair. It's a flight. I think the team are going out on that one as well. But we'll have a good couple of nights. Well, I'm going for one night. I think the team are going for 2. But good fun and non-league fan-owned club. It's something that quite passionate about. So really looking forward to that.
There you go.
And I'll probably go back to the bar where many, many years ago, I was just there in Wrist London business, as a ticket collection. A young lad came up to me with love for me in his eyes. Yes. Here he came and he said, "Oh, I'm Dave." And I went, "Fuck off." I never heard from him again. So if anyone knows Dave, burner account, Dave.
Do you remember what I was wearing on that particular day?
I do remember. Yes,
I was wearing an absolutely gorgeous shell suit. I probably should try and get the photograph somewhere, but too long. I was wearing a 1990 post-Italia 90 Adidas shell jacket. Absolutely gorgeous. But no, have fun. We will be back though with State of Play during the week at some point. It's a bit of a mad week, but hopefully we're going to get 2 or 3 episodes. If there is a new manager appointed, I doubt there will be. There is a press conference tomorrow in the Aviva. It was cancelled on Friday, so might have a little video about that if there's anything mad. But as always, when we have a new manager, we will be live. We will react to that. And hopefully we will be over in Dublin giving you live coverage as well from the stadium, as we always do. Anyway, listen, Thank you very much for watching. I'm David Dunn. He's Mark Prendergast. This has been Lansdowne Roar, and you lovely, lovely people have been absolutely beautiful. Good night. God bless. And that's 11 o'clock, so sleep tight.